Ladies and gentlemen, this is R.E.C. Games bringing to you another deck profile. This is Subterrors for July 2017. This is a deck I've been running for a little while, and I hope you guys enjoy it. First off, we have 3 Subterror Nemesis Archer. Nemesis Archer, when she's on the field, and she battles an opponent's face-down defense monster, it gets spun right back into the deck before battle calculation, and additionally, when she's destroyed, you get to special summon any Subterror monster from your deck to the field. Next up, we have 3 Subterror Fiendess. Subterror Fiendess is a great card because you can turn it or any other Subterror you control into face-down defense and special summon from the graveyard or the hand any Subterror card. Additionally, she's got a hand trap effect, but when you're activating that hand trap effect to negate an opponent's card, you have to have a face-up monster on the field. So be sure that if you're, utilizing the Subterror Fiendess as a hand trap, you have an appropriate target, because it's so easy to get drawn into turning all your monsters face-down defense when you have the opportunity. So just, don't get too worked up and get your combos, don't screw yourself over with Subterror Fiendess. Next up, we have 2 Subterror Nemesis Warrior. This card is an amazing card so long as he's in the graveyard. When he's in the hand, he's not very effective. When he's in the graveyard, he can just keep special summoning himself out every time a Subterror monster is flipped face up. Next up, we have double Subterror Ultramaphus. This card is the boss monster of the deck. It flips all cards on the field to face down defense when he's flipped up. And just a really good card. Next up, we have double Subterror Ultramaphus. Umastrix. Ultramaphus is the other one. Umastrix is targeted banishment when it's flipped face up. Next up, we have double Phosphoro Glacier. This card is a walking foolish burial. When it's flipped, you turn any card from the deck to the graveyard. It's also pretty strong, 2600 attack, so you can use it for being a good beater. Next up, I have 2 techs. I put Subterror Behemoth Spellgeist and Behemoth Volt Allergic. Spellgeist, it's a 3000 beater. It can turn a face-down defense card to the field face-up attack position and make its attack 0. So this one's very good to combo off with the Ultramaphus other 3000 beater. As well as Volt Allergic, it can take one set card on your opponent's side of the field and put it to your side of the field. So another good tech card alongside the Ultramaphus. Next up, we have double Apprentice Piper. This card is a flip card, and what you utilize it for is, say you set it face down defense, your opponent runs into it in a battle, it turns face up defense, the flip causes its effect to activate where you can special summon a Subterror monster from your hand, and then when it's destroyed, you get to do the same thing and summon another Subterror monster from hand. So if your opponent is foolish enough to crash into this, you're going to get 2 free special summons. Next up are the spells and traps. We have triple Hidden City. This card is the engine of the deck, so you definitely have to have this at 3, no exceptions. We have 3 terraformings to get that Hidden City to our side of the field as quickly as possible. The Hidden City can only be activated once per turn, so just be careful of that. Next up, we have double Book of Eclipse and 1 Book of Moon. When you're utilizing Book of Eclipse, I try to save it for my turn so that I can use my effects to destroy my opponent's card as quickly as possible without being able to give them, any draws, so my Book of Eclipse doesn't have any drawbacks. Otherwise, you can use it as I use it as a last-ditch effort if I need to stop them on their play, disrupt them for any mean. Otherwise, yeah, they're going to be able to draw. Next we have Mystical Space Typhoon at 2. Next up I have double Dark Hole and 1 Raigeki to really destroy all my opponent's side of the field as quickly as possible. You don't want to have a big board, obviously, to use Dark Hole. You want to use Dark Hole prior to going off on your opponent, because this deck doesn't have the greatest recovery. Next up we have 1 Foolish Burial to get Nemesis Warrior to the graveyard as quickly as possible, as well as any Subterror card, monster card from your deck to the graveyard as quickly as possible. If you have a Fiendess, she'll combo really well off of this card. Next up I have 2, My Body as a Shield. My Body as a Shield is a better card than Subterror Behemoth Barrowing, in my opinion. This card protects your face-down defense a lot better than Barrowing. The only drawback is Barrowing can turn your card's face-down defense. Otherwise, this card just does the job way better. Next up, for the traps, we have Subterror Final Battle. This card is really amazing. It's got 4 different effects. It sets itself right back down. And when you get 2 of these bad boys on the field, your combos are going to be ridiculous. Gotta run that at 3. Next, Quaking Mirror Force. I mean, setting your opponent's entire field face down defense is glorious for this deck. That was the Subterror deck. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Please let me know in the comments below if you have any techs or any advice on this deck. Anything I can do to make it better, because I really like this deck. It's just, it doesn't have a ton of support, and I don't really like to use the Prediction Princess engine at all in this deck, or Shaddolls. I think this deck kind of does a little better, does its job a little better than those other decks combined. I don't have to utilize all those other resources, and they get cloggy. So Subterror Pure, really good. Anyways, I hope you guys enjoyed. Please like, subscribe, comment. R.E.C. Games out.